Losing all your muscle seems like a fate nobody would like to experience. However, sometimes life will hit you with some circumstances that can either literally and physically make you stop working out, or something big has happened in your life that needs more of your time. Whatever is happening in your life, now you are simply limited and need to make some sacrifices to not lose everything you have worked for. And maybe if we know the best way to lose all your muscles, then we can avoid the worst possible scenario. First, if you want to lose all your muscle, then you need to stop working out. It is that simple. Stop doing any exercise. Your muscles are used and grow through challenging them, so do not use them and they will respond. Second, enter a calorie deficit. In other words, stop eating as much as you did before. Don't give enough energy for your body to function and your body will eat itself, which also means your muscles. Third, stop moving. Moving does not mean exercise. It simply could be walking or doing other stuff. Sit all day and feel the weakness on your legs after sitting for 6 hours. Do the first, second, and third step for 6 to 10 months and you will successfully lose almost all your muscle. That was basically what I did and the difference was huge. If you are in a messy time in your life or if you are physically injured like I was, you don't need to completely give up everything. I had a back injury and everything I did successfully healed it. Not working out helped because I didn't trigger my back pain. Being on a calorie deficit allowed me to get some weight off my body, which helped me by simply not putting as much weight on my back. And also, fasting helped with inflammation. Not moving was simply a result of my already depressed mind. Most of my back pain was gone. However, looking back, I didn't have to completely stop working out. I didn't have to lose as much weight as I did, and if I had walked more than before, I'm sure all of that would have helped me recover faster, not lose all my muscle, and not be depressed. You don't need to stop training if you are injured or if you are really busy. Simply doing one time full body 2-3 hours per week will be plenty and will help you so much when it comes to maintaining your muscle. The difference between training 1 day per week to training 0 days per week is huge. And I will argue that when it comes to maintaining muscle, working out and not being sedentary is way more impactful, at least in the short to medium term, than even a dramatic calorie deficit. Although if it comes to the long term, a calorie deficit will definitely be more detrimental, at least in my experience. You could have 4 months only training 1 day per week while being on a calorie deficit and not see muscle loss, but you could have 4 months not training at all while not being on a calorie deficit and maintaining a high protein diet and see a huge difference in your body. The same dynamic applies on the long term diet wise. You will probably be better off not training at all for 4 months than being on an aggressive calorie deficit for 8 months while only training 1 time per week. In my experience, while I was injured, most of my appetite disappeared as I stopped working out. Also, there wasn't a reason for me to eat as much when I couldn't reach my goals. I literally did OMAD for 6 to 8 months or more, going from 145 pounds to 120 pounds. And as a really tall 5'4" dude, 25 pounds is a lot, especially because I was lean. So if you don't want to lose muscle, don't enter a calorie deficit, especially a long one like I did. As I stopped working out, I also in a way stopped moving. High school ended, COVID was still kind of forced on us. I didn't know what to do with the uncertainty, and so every day I was in front of a screen. But I could have walked more. It certainly would have been better, not only for my recovery and muscle loss prevention, but also for my mind. Also, I would like to say that recovering muscle is not as fast as you probably have heard of. I guess most people that say that muscle recovery is fast are right in a way, but in another way they are also wrong. At least in my own experience, getting to the point I was before took me around 1 year or more. I guess it all boils down to how much muscle you have lost and how much you need to take back. If you want to maintain your muscles, don't enter a calorie deficit, don't stop working out altogether, and don't stop moving. If you are injured, you don't need to either completely stop working out or moving. If you want to lose all your muscle like I did, make sure to completely stop working out, sit all day long, preferably more than 6 hours per day, and enter a long calorie deficit.